Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, PM brushes aside budget claims. Opposition denounces national budget. And Valley Level Health Centre to open 24 hours.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The Prime Minister has rubbished opposition claims that the 2017-2018 budget is an election budget. Vorenge Bainimarama says every budget is an election budget. Akusita Thale reports.
Every budget is an election budget.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says they govern at the behest of Fijians and are in the business of being re-elected to continue the transformation of the nation.
This is not on the back of one budget, Madam Speaker, but successive budgets over the past decade. Each of them building blocks that we are putting in place year by year to achieve our vision of eventually becoming a fully fledged modern nation state.
Fijians have been advised to examine the details of the budget thoroughly to ensure they make the right choice in the next election.
When it comes to choosing who is best to govern them next year, they will exercise that judgment and make the right choice. When they read the details of this budget or have it explained to them honestly, they can form their own opinion.
The Prime Minister says he will stand in the next election together with the Attorney General and the rest of the 49 candidates.
It is the same successful team that has produced the transformation of the past decade. Stability, confidence, consistency, innovation, genuine progress and empowerment. And of course, our success in managing the economy will be a cornerstone of that campaign.
Bainimarama adds the budget has put more money into the pockets of every Fijian. This has been proven by raising the tax threshold from $16,000 to $30,000 a year, which will improve disposable income and the living standards of low-income earners. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Shadow Minister for the Economy Aseri Randrondro has labelled the national budget akin to an early Christmas with all of the trimmings. Responsible for opposition's substantive response to the budget, Randrondro questions the shortfalls in projected revenue and growing debt. He also called out the 34-cent increase in the national minimum wage as merely a token. Maggie Boyle reports.
When SODELPA is in government, we will ensure we did.
Likening the 2017-2018 budget to Christmas in August, Randrondro also took shots at the debt level.
The Fiji First government is collecting more tax than any other time in Fiji's history. They first hit the $1 billion mark in 2014 and have raised consistent tax levels since. Yet, they've added $5.2 billion to Fiji's national debt.
He also picked on shortfalls in revenue projections.
In 2014, the actual revenue collected was $2.4 billion against a budget estimate of $2.7 billion. This is a shortfall of $300 million, Madam Speaker. In 2016, the fiscal year for government was changed. This has effectively distorted what I am sure would have been a continued decline in actual revenue collection.
And while he applauded the salary increase for civil servants, he questioned recent administrative changes.
Already, many have been threatened to sign their contracts or not receive any salary increments.
On the increased national minimum wage, Randrondro says it's insignificant.
How much difference will an additional 36 cents an hour make in an unskilled worker's life? Will this increase? They are all, after all, going home with just over $100 a week in take-home pay. When you talk about empowerment of people, Madam Speaker, you don't empower people by paying them $2.68 an hour. That's just token empowerment, not real terms.
In his debut budget response, Randrondro set the tone in his hour-long address. He pulled apart the budget, questioning how government would make up for lost revenue given the increased tax threshold. He also called out TELS, saying that it was burdening Fiji's youth and that if SODELPA were in charge, the script would be different. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Opposition leader Rotemu Mokepa says the budget does not address the unemployment level in Fiji. Rotemu claims the economy, which must serve the nation, does not have the capacity to provide jobs for school leavers and graduates, despite positive economic growth over the last 3 years. She says it is estimated that 33.4% or over 249,000 economically active people are not absorbed in the labour force and are considered unemployed or underemployed.
Salaries have been stagnant for the last 7 years. The devaluation of our dollar and cumulative inflation have further affected the real value and buying power of struggling families. The last increase in civil service salaries was just before the 2014 elections. Once again, guess what, Madam Speaker? We have an increase in civil service salaries just before the 2018 elections, and the timing is quite amazing.
Health centres around the country will soon provide 24-hour service to the public. Minister for Health and Medical Services Rosie Akbar says with the recruitment of additional nurses and doctors, this will allow for a greater range of services to be made available. Kelly Vavala reports.
The 2017 and 2018 budget highlighted that 150 new doctors and 200 nurses will be recruited to help provide efficient and effective medical services.
Recruitment of additional staff means we will be able to offer extended opening hours in some of our busier health centres, beginning with the health centre in Valley Level, which is set to start operating on a 24/7 basis before the end of this year.
Minister Akbar also told Parliament today they have allocated $4 million to renovate urban health centres and hospitals.
I have been disappointed by the poor state of buildings where we expect our staff to walk and our patients to be treated. I have made no secret of my wish to tackle the backlog of repairs and maintenance in buildings and equipment.
The Health and Medical Services Ministry received a sum of $321.2 million in the 2017 and 2018 national budget. The salaries of nurses and midwives went up by 14%. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
Trade and Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya says the national budget is a continuation of converting promises into action by the government. Koya says we have made great strides in advancing our country towards becoming a modern nation state. He says the Young Entrepreneurship Scheme will be the first initiative that will be delivered through the Business Innovation Service arm of the MSME Central Coordinating Agency.
A strong MSME sector and environment propagates jobs, generates income, stimulates entrepreneurship, eradicates poverty, and advances the livelihoods of rural Fijians. Madam Speaker, the allocation of $2.8 million in the budget will assist in the establishment of the MSME Central Coordinating Agency, which will provide streamlined services in business licensing and designed to create a single window system, but will focus on micro and small entrepreneurs, business incubation, mentoring and training, as well as business innovation.
Fisheries Minister Semi Koroi-Lavasau says a consistent challenge for his ministry is to ensure balance between the utilisation and conservation of our marine resources. Speaking in Parliament today, Koroi-Lavasau says they are focusing on getting their basics right in order to help the future generation.
The ministry is now fully empowered to forge ahead with its current mission to drive the sustainable fisheries management, contribute to the economic growth and improve livelihoods through smart policies and applied research and development.
Still to come, stakeholders work on enhancing tsunami warning system, and couple cleared of neglect in child's death. Stay with us.
Moala ragala ranalika, o tikongona taon singatoka, ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Ibora ni pat sekarang hambara binaranga. Total takinan na waronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
A 22-year-old mother who was admitted at the Lautoka Hospital's intensive care unit with her 1-month-old baby has been discharged. It is alleged the mother and her baby were assaulted over the weekend. The suspect, who is the father of the child, is in custody and will be questioned by police today. It's alleged the suspect came home drunk, started an argument and assaulted his wife. In the process, the suspect allegedly injured their 1-month-old baby who was still admitted in the hospital. The alleged offence took place in Tavua. A tsunami warning often causes chaos in the country, with people dashing to make it to the nearest high ground. Relevant stakeholders are now working together to enhance its tsunami warning system around the country. Sanyani Boiler reports.
More than 40 staff from various ministries and NGOs are looking at ways to widen their capacity in assessing tsunami threats.
This training is about strengthening the operational procedures for tsunami warning centers and tsunami emergency response agencies. We want to make sure that everyone's working together so that when the next tsunami comes, we can respond quickly and the public can know what to do and be very actionable immediately.
The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has stopped issuing tsunami warnings and watches for the Pacific, including Fiji, and only provides tsunami threat messages.
Threat messages and other enhanced products to the countries to help them make their warning decisions. The responsibility now fully lies with the national government, Tsunami Warning Center, to take the decision in terms of tsunami threat and issue appropriate warnings or advisories or just information bulletins.
The week-long training will further upgrade knowledge and capacity for regional staff to make sound warning decisions, issue clear tsunami warning, and optimize public response. Sainiani Boila, FBC News.
The Suva High Court has acquitted a couple who were alleged to have failed to ensure the safety of their 1-year, 11-month-old child, resulting in his death. 34-year-old Petero Taitusi and 29-year-old Lawata Vitalina were facing 1 count of manslaughter arising from breach of duties. An emotional Vitalina told FBC News that she is glad the case is over, as coming to court with her husband for the last 2 years has been very stressful for them. The couple from Sawani Kulandawa Samu was alleged to have failed in their duty as parents, as they allegedly did not take their sick child for medical examination to the CWM hospital in Suva, and as a result the child died from pneumonia. While delivering his judgment this afternoon, Judge Justice Vincent Pereira said there were inconsistencies in the evidence by the prosecution. Suva High Court Judge Justice Tushara Rajasinghe will deliver his ruling in an alleged sedition case involving 3 senior Fiji Times officials, the company and a letter writer later this month. All 4 except Chosai Wangambava are challenging the amended charge against them. Nailalakai editor Anare Ravula, the Fiji Times editor-in-chief Fred Wesley, the company's general manager and publisher Hank Arts, the company and a letter writer Chosai Wangambava are charged with 1 count each of sedition. Their counsels believe only Wangambava should face the sedition charges, as he was the one with seditious intentions. They are alleged to have published a letter in the Nailalakai newspaper in April last year that was likely to incite dislike, hatred or antagonism of the Muslim community. The case will be recalled on July 27th. The police force has appointed 23 people as the Commissioner's cadets who will undergo 38 months of training. The cadet officers will be based in the West and, if successful, will be commissioned as inspectors. They were chosen after undergoing 6 months of basic recruit course. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Veningilio warned the cadets to be prepared to face obstacles that will challenge and possibly derail their focus.
Cadets, you will be exposed to another level of training that will be intense and demanding. You will be thrown into new environments and the expectations placed on you to perform will be massive, especially with the label of the Commissioner's cadets hanging over you.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, netball under-21 team wins 2nd match, but joining us next is Akosita with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up, ANZ Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards launched. And in growing, Fiji International Corporation gets ISO certification. Stay with us.
I'm Anare Sorbakroa of Nayabu Wendibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. Leading our business tonight, the top premier event in the local tourism industry was launched in Suva today. The 21st season of the ANZ Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards will include all major contributors to the industry. This year's awards will include a wider spectrum of tourism operators and allow other players in the industry a chance to participate.
We are now including private operators, individuals including spa and wellness operators, wedding and tourism event planners, suppliers, people like that. So it's a much wider area, a wider category of people.
The launch today symbolizes the strong partnership between FETA and ANZ, a key contributor to the success of the Tourism Awards.
So regardless of a 5-star hotel or a no-star hotel, I mean, as long as your service is there, you've gone back to basic, you've provided the customer satisfaction. Those are the things which basically the new entrance needs to be looking into it in terms of what are the things which basically brings them apart from the rest of them. And that's the encouragement which we basically require from every single one who is basically looking into that category.
Each year, Excellence Awards are given in 13 categories, with 2 Trustee Awards in recognition of the very best in Fiji's tourism industry. The 2017 ANZ Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards will be held in February next year. We now join Savanatha from the HFC Bank with the very latest from the local trading market.
Good evening. Let's take a look at the performance of the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. 6 securities were traded totaling more than 14,000 shares, accumulating to $53,000 in over 90 transactions. The 6 securities were Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, Fiji Televisions, Paradise Beverages Fiji, RB Patel Group, Vision Investments, and Fijian Holdings. There were some major price gains for stock last week, 3 of which closed at all-time highs. ATH closed at $1.53, Fijian Holdings at $4.53, and RB Patel Group at $3.30. These price gains reflect a bullish market sentiment and present an opportunity for existing shareholders to sell part of their investment and make some capital gain. The market capitalization increased from the previous week by 0.91% to $1.5 billion. That's all from me, Vinaka.
Thanks, Savanatha. Now on to today's exchange rates. The Fijian dollar strengthened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at $3.24 and at 48 cents. Now closer to home, the Australian and New Zealand dollar weakened, closing at 62 and 65 cents, while the PNG Kina rose to close at 1.33. As for the commodities market, oil prices dropped over the weekend to close at 44.49 a barrel, while gold went down to close at 1,214 an ounce. Silver also dropped to close at 15.60 an ounce. And on growing Fiji, Denarau Corporation Limited has achieved a milestone after being accredited with ISO certificate. Talaxai Limited, a New Zealand-based international certification body and accreditation agency, went through a thorough audit and conformity assessment on DCL prior to this accreditation. Chair of DCL, Pramea Sharma, said their management team have been busy putting together a quality management system that will make Denarau internationally certified. And that's business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thank you, Akasita, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Frank Lomani receives Flying Fijians call-up. And Rewa football summons for Vanuatu support. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1. इट्स सो हॉट.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. आई लव मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
Naita Siri halfback Frank Lomani has been called up by the Flying Fijians to replace injured Serupupeli Vularika as the side prepares for its match against Samoa this Saturday. Vularika dislocated his wrist against Tonga last week. Vasil Prasad reports.
Frank Lomani now gets ready to...
It's a big call for 23-year-old Frank Lomani. Last week he played for Naita Siri in the Skipper Cup, and this week the Nipi halfback has been called for the national duties.
Frank's been training with the squad in some of our camps, so I think he'll slot in the team quite well for this week.
It is highly likely that coach John Mackie will make few changes to his run-on side.
We'll get the travel behind us and we'll do a medical assessment. Tomorrow we'll make our decisions from there. But ultimately, you know, we're going to pick a team to win this game.
It will for sure be a fierce battle between Flying Fijians and Samoans.
Samoa, I think, you know, like very good back line, so I think they'll be dangerous in that area. You know, good kicking game from halfback, so we're going to have to be really aware for that.
Despite booking a spot in the 2019 World Cup, our national team will try to beat Samoa and win the Pacific Nations Cup once again. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Rewa football side hopes its winning form from the Vodafone Fiji Fact will carry through to the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants that starts in Lambasa on Friday. And with some of its players from Vano Levu as well, the Delta Tigers will also bank on crowd support to boost their chances. Vastil Prasad has more.
After winning the Fiji Fact, the Delta Tigers have set their sights on the BOG title. Coach Marika Rondu has revealed there is a special bond which have made them successful so far this year.
The boys continue to show good leadership, and they work out with each other, the young ones and the older ones. So we have become a unit and we go stronger by stronger.
Rewa has been drawn in a tough pool with league leaders plus defending champions Lautoka and Giants Ba.
We respect both Lautoka and Ba, so we'll just take one game at a time. At the moment we're looking at Ba specifically.
Rewa has a handful of players originally from Vanuatu. This includes the likes of Posiano Kalisito, Gabi Matanesinga, and the latest inclusion Misaele Draunimbaka.
Misa missing out on during Fiji Fact, so he's here to give another boost to our striking force. He can play 2-3 positions.
Support and to support the Rewa team for some of the boys here in Rewa team, so they are from Lambasa, so ask you guys for support.
Matanesinga says it will be a tough tournament at Subrail Park for any team from Viti Levu.
It's be a tough battle for us, so I would like to thank the boys for helping me with inside the field.
Rewa plays Ba in its first game at 5 p.m. on Friday. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Super Football side has received a timely financial boost ahead of the tournament. All Freight's logistics are on board to support the Whites as they chase down the BOG crown that's eluded them since 1995. Super Football President Ritesh Pratap says the assistance will better the team's chances at the tournament.
They are one of our luckiest sponsors. If you go back a few years back, IFL has sponsored us in League, National League. We have won that National League. They have sponsored us in IDC. We have won that.
The Fiji Under-21 netball side won its second game at the World Youth Cup in Botswana this morning. The Vicky Wilson coach side led Wales 26-14 at halftime and went on to seal the match 48-35. Fiji plays Grenada at 5 a.m. tomorrow and faces England in its last pool match on Thursday. The Tour de France dream of Richie Porte was brought to a shocking end in a horrific crash on the last descent of the 9th stage this morning. The Australian lost control on the descent and fractured his pelvis and collarbone. That's it from sports this evening. Catch weather later on with Angie. And in new media, world's biggest mobile phone chip producer Qualcomm wants ban on Apple iPhone sales in the United States. Details after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ako sila tali, nagurara may naumani, nandunga. Gitu tali taka yang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong, varorong na Radio Fiji One nandumai viti.
Na Radio Fiji One nandumai viti na bonga ni BNN.
Qualcomm, the world's biggest producer of mobile phone chips, has appealed for the sale of some iPhones in the US to be banned. It's the latest in a series of developments in an ongoing legal dispute between the two big companies. Weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Conditions were extremely gorgeous for a Monday. It was sunny and so full of life. We could get used to this, but do expect a cold night. Looking at today in the west, sunshine was at work, glazing all the greens. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, it was sunny for some time, but cloudy periods covered the clear blue. We can expect a few light drizzles. And up in Vanwalevu, it was quite hot even at 31 degrees. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, low tide early tomorrow morning will be at 1:40 with a high tide at 7:42. Sunrise will be at 6:38. For tomorrow, although there is some cloudy periods indicated, it will not stop the sun from shining and giving us beautiful conditions. Tomorrow's temps, Suva will be the coolest with highs of 24 and lows of 18. Looking ahead to Wednesday, the sun will put its head on again and continue to give us beautiful, vibrant conditions. And that, Jackie, is FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, should civil servants be put on contracts like people in the private sector?
It's not good. It's unfair.
Yes, because there are a lot of graduates, and now that the rate of unemployment has gone up, like they've said it in the news, but they should be contracted.
My idea is that it gives other opportunities for other graduates to come in to the government sector, and also but the only thing is that they have to extend the contract instead of minimizing it for graduates.
It's not good for them to be contracted because most of them are in Suva and are renting. Some are paying for hire purchase, and when their contract expires, they will not get paid, so there will be no problems.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, microplastics are pieces of plastic less than 5 millimeters in size. They make up part of the estimated tens of millions of tons of plastic that gets washed into the ocean every year. That could be hurting fish that eat plastic and humans who eat those fish. But help may be on the way. Tapping the main stories, PM brushes aside budget claims, opposition denounces national budget, and Vallevo Health Center to open 24 hours. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, are you happy with the new tax threshold? 71% said yes. This week we are asking, should civil servants be put on contracts like people in the private sector? Visit our FBC website to answer. And before we go, today's shot of the day, the picture was taken at the Nice-Saucer floodgate by Shivani Singh. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye for now.
Kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Utiko minasama mo tikola ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tali, nagurara may naomanyi, nando nga. Gitu tali tajiri ang gitu pinasawale, nagundurong varorong na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nandu mai bitin honga ni BNN.